welcome back to Access. My name's Nathan, and I'm joined today by Rob.
Hello.
Rob, I've been off to Gamescom, and I have played FIFA 20.
I'm very jealous.
Look, I've scored a goal for you because I know you like goals.
With Spurs, what a surprise.
And replays as well. I've done you a little replay. But this isn't what this video is about. This video is actually about one of the things we get asked a lot about is career mode and whether there are any changes.
Yeah.
And this year there are some.
Ooh.
So there's some improvements, and a few of which caught my eye.
I must say, I do love career mode. I'm excited for this.
Well, I'm genuinely excited to talk you through it. So this is number one. This is number one. This is just me setting up. So these are a little peek at the menus. I know people like that. I'm entering a career. Is it going to be a player career or a manager career?
I always pick player.
Well, actually,
controversially,
I went for manager because it actually relates to to most of the points. Most of the points do relate to being a manager. And my first point is just that there's loads of avatar customization this year. Once we get back into the manager mode, you'll see you get kind of like a selection, including ladies. You can have a lady manager if you like. I end up going for the generic guy in the middle.
I'm trying to guess by looking at those avatars which real life managers they've based those looks on.
I think they're very carefully
flat cap and scarf.
Not made them like anyone. But look, this stuff is all new. Accessories, Rob. You can get trousers and shoes for
I'm so into this.
For your manager.
What colour shorts? Grey boots?
So you can go probably unnecessarily deep. But yeah, you can make your manager whoever you like. So I, of course, called our manager PS Access, and he will be the manager of a little club called Tottenham Hotspur. And that's what we're going to be seeing throughout. So all of the footage is going to be this guy, who I actually didn't customise at all in the end, just managing Tottenham Hotspur.
You're trying to sign Dybala. He doesn't want to come to Spurs, Nate.
Well, do you know what?
Give up.
So this is number 2, yeah, and you're quite right. I thought, first of all, I do want to sign Dybala. I didn't realise at the time, but this is going to lead me into a new bit. This is all the transfer stuff that you might be familiar with, and the mechanics are very similar as well. This is quite a small thing, but this is a new location. This is a new negotiation, and I just thought it just put me into the mind of, like the jet-setting agent, like the super sphere of...
Exactly how I imagine player transfers going down.
Exactly.
An amazing penthouse apartment looking across a city skyline.
And so I'm there. My actual manager is there, PS Access, and he's like, just let me start with an initial offer. My initial offer was quite derisory. I offered to swap Lamella.
Lamella plus £5.
So, and they were like,
no.
Maybe if you give us some money. And then, so I countered by just offering 50 million. And I think I had accidentally taken Lamella off the table. And the reason I'm letting this play out is because, they wanted it. It was so high. I had to spend so long getting it down to a figure that I wanted. And so
you had to cut out going from 100 million down to 50.
Yeah, I had to put it in manually in the end. And look at this. I'm not playing hardball, and he simply walked out.
Wow.
But what made me laugh was my manager's face. Just look how sad I am. Oh, what have I done? I guess I'm not getting Dybala. And that's pretty much how I was at the end of the transfer window when we didn't get Dybala. All right.
I think that's exactly what happened in that exact place.
This is number 3 now. So we're getting on to more stuff which is going to affect the sort of moment-to-moment of your career mode. This is sort of new ways of communicating. And there are 2 main ways that this happens. Look at this. You get... player chat, players message you. Lloris is the club captain, so I'm the new manager, and he's messaged me. Just sent me a little message, and then
like
you
an
get
instant messenger type thing,
and you get to reply to it. Yeah, and it pops up in your inbox. And the other thing, which is it's not new, but this is, look, you can kind of see that it has an effect on your team now.
Okay,
so when you do a bit like in the journey of old FIFAs, you will be asked questions before and after the match, and your responses will have an effect on the team. And so it's important that you kind of have a little think about what manager you're trying to be, or I guess if you're just super angry with your team, you can just say whatever you like.
I really like this. I like how they've taken this whole mode beyond just playing football on the pitch. They've added other aspects into it.
Yeah, man, and it reflects. It's nice to engage with things which have become, in the age of social media, like those sorts of conferences are more important than ever. They're really interesting. And so, but this is number 4. This is why it's probably more important than you might originally. You're just kind of like, oh, this is a nice thing. I get to answer questions. But the morale is really important. So you can see there, I've answered, basically, I just say nice things about my team all the time.
Right.
And that does help morale. Although, if you take a look at, I don't know if you, so we'll just see me answer this question. Can the team handle the pressure? Yeah, of course. It's well within our reach. The team loves it. So the morale's gone up a little bit, but you will see that there are certain categories of answer, and the idea is that certain players react better or worse to different kinds of answer. And you have to get to know what your players respond to, whether it's criticism, calmness, or just praise.
This is really interesting.
And so Danny Rose likes, look, here are all the different options. Danny Rose just likes me being nice about him, which is fine. I'm happy to be nice about Danny Rose for as long as anybody wants. And the reason that the messages which I showed you are important is because one of the things which a lot of people do when they're playing career mode, especially when they're managing career mode, is you're going to skim a lot of matches. You're going to sim them, right?
Yeah.
So you just let them play out. But if you do that, it's very easy to miss the player messages, and they get really sad about it. So you if you miss. So you saw the Lloris one pop up. The game only interrupts that simming to send you messages about people's transfer negotiations. So unless you're keeping an eye out in your notifications in the bottom corner. And look, Mora says, I was disappointed not to play.
I mean, this is the kind of thing that's difficult. You've got so many good players, especially at Spurs.
I know.
You can't keep everyone happy all the time.
But look, if you answer...
You're not running the show, mate.
But that sent his morale up. But look at this. Harry Winks, I'd missed it. Hey, boss, any chance I could get some game time in the upcoming match? I understand, but it would have been nice to let me know. So that's happened now. He's always going to be sad about that I've ignored him.
Oh, no.
And it gets worse, man. If you let that go, some players, if you do a whole season, they can get so unhappy that they demand to be transfer listed, and the board will sell them without any control.
Wow.
So you have to really manage these players.
Wow, that's amazing.
And the other thing it has a really important morale and performance and sort of general actual management of the players is because you've always had this, there's this thing that's been in career mode for a while, which is about potential. So you might start off with a player who's a young player, he's 80 rated, but he has a potential to become 92.
Yeah.
And one of the things which, websites and guides are always full of is, which players have got the potential to become the highest rated? Who should you go for? Mbappe was like a huge one last year. And you do that through these drills, so you can train the players up and increase their stats. 90.
He has potential to become a 99.
I think he was in the 80s, but he could become 95. And now that potential, it was before it was locked, which is why it was so easy to find out guides on who you should be signing. Now it's dynamic and it's based on how you manage them. So it depends on their performance. So obviously, if you're simming games, it's going to be harder to ensure that they're doing well. And also, if you're not playing them, then their potential growth is going to be capped. And it also depends on their morale. So if you're answering questions about them or ignoring their messages, then their potential is going to be capped. So it's kind of a man management element to probably what was already one of the more sort of engaging elements of the career mode anyway.
Wow.
So I like it.
It's deep.
It is deep, and it means that, when you're talking about is Harry Winks sad or not, and is he getting enough game time, like, it makes it you rotating the squad becomes more important, so everyone feels involved. And you want your young players to grow as much as they can, but also this works for older players because they decline. You can't help it; they just decline.
Yeah.
But they decline slower if you manage them in the same way. So I'm super excited, and I thought I would
end by showing us another goal you scored.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, and again, I spent some time in the replays. Look at I think it's Ndombele ducking. I love that. I love just
out the way of the ball. Nice.
Yeah. And then I thought this was quite Dele Alli-esque, like straight away, like he's quick thinking.
It's very Dele Alli-esque.
And then an early shot from Kane.
And Kane's just there scoring goals.
Straight into the goal. So look, that was our really quick look at career mode in FIFA 20. 5 of the biggest changes which are coming. I know this is a hot topic, so do let us know your thoughts in the comments. If you like this video, do give it a like, subscribe to PlayStation Access, and hit the notification bell so you always know what is coming up on the channel.
For the players.